Shurmlitanyena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurvabhishta Suparakam Guru Ganera Shisha Sambhushitam Chincha Samashtha Vedani Punam Shri Rupa Pantanagam Govinda Bidamujvalam Bharatanam Bhaktiamitam Sundaram Vande Vishwagaruncha Divya Bhagavat Premnohi Vijapradam Vanchakalpa Turubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnambhyo Namo Namaha. Good morning. We are continuing reading Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata by Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur. We're in Adi Kanda Part 1. And I will pick up where Divya Shakti Didi left off yesterday. So this is the chapter 3, and it's the appearance of the Lord. And all the beautiful pastimes that were happening then. The demigoddesses were coming to visit Sachi Devi after the child was born. At that time, various musicians came and began to enthusiastically play mridangas, sanai, and flutes. Demigoddesses mixed unnoticed with the ladies present there. Aditi, the mother of the demigods, with her right hand placed paddy and durva grass on the head of the child and blessed him, saying, "Live a long life." Chirakala pritivite karaha prakasha ataiva chirayubaliya hoilahasa. She desired that the Lord would always remain on this earth planet. Therefore she smiled and she blessed him with the words, "Live a long life." Apurva Sundari Sabha Sachi Devi Deke Varta Jishnasite Karo Na Aisha Muke. Although Mother Sachi saw the beautiful demigoddesses there, she was too shy to inquire about their identities. Shachira Charana Duli Loya Devi Gana Anande Shachira Muke Na Aishe Vachana. The demigoddesses took the dust from Sachi Devi's feet, and Sachi became speechless out of joy. Kiba Ananda Hoila Se Jagannatha Gare Vedete Anante Taha Varnite Napare. The happiness experienced in the house of Jagannath Mishra could not be described by either Lord Ananta or the Vedas. Loka Deki Shachi Grihe Sarva Nadiyaya Ye Ananda Hoila Taha Kahana Nahayaya. People at the house of Sachi and throughout Nadia felt such ecstasy that it is beyond description. Ki Nagare, Ki Bagare, Ki Baganga Tire, Niravadhi Sarvaloka Haridwani Kare. Whether in the village, in the houses, or on the banks of the Ganges, everywhere people continuously chanted the names of Lord Hari. Janma Yatra Mahotsava Nishaya Grahane Anande Karena Keha Marmana Hijane. Everyone observed the festival of the Lord's appearance while thinking they were celebrating the occasion of the excuse me. Everyone observed the festival of the Lord's appearance while thinking they were celebrating the occasion of the eclipse. Chaitanya Janma Yatra Falguni Purnima Brahma Adi E Titira Kare Aradana. Lord Chaitanya appeared on the full moon night of the month of Falgun, a day thus worshipped by Brahma and others. Parama Pavitra Titi Bhakti Svarupini Yanhi Avatirno Hailena Dvijamani. This day is the reservoir of devotional service, and therefore most sanctified, because the Supreme Lord, the best of the Brahmins, appeared on that day. Nityananda Janma Magi Shukla Trayodasi Gaurachandra Pakasha Falguna Purnamasi. Lord Nityananda appeared on the 13th day of the waxing moon in the month of Magh. It seems like I read this already, but okay. It's okay. And Gaurachandra appeared on the full moon evening in the month of Falguna. Sarva Yatra Mangala Edui Punyatiti Sarva Shupa Lagna Adishtana Hoya Iti. These 2 days are most auspicious because all favorable planetary conjunctions are present on these days. Eteke Edui Titi Karile Sevana Krishna Bhakti Hoy Kande Avijja Bandhana. Therefore, whoever observes these 2 days attains devotion to Lord Krishna and freedom from the bondage to ignorance. Means the day of the appearance of Lord Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda. Ishvarera Janma Titi Yehena Pavitra Vaishnavera Se Mata Titira Charitra. Just as the appearance day of the Lord is sanctified, the appearance day of the Vaishnavas are also. In the Brahma Purana it is stated, "Fortunate are those persons of Kali Yuga who observe the appearance day of Vishnu by staying awake at night and fasting. They are not subject to the great fear of rebirth in the material world. Wherever they reside, Kali cannot affect them. Observing vows on the appearance days of the Eternal Supreme Lord gives liberation. These observances of vows for the pleasure of Vishnu are the greatest good in this life and the next, the greatest dharma. By observing these 2 auspicious days, the 13th day of the waxing moon in the month of Magh, and the full moon day in the month of Falgun, a conditioned soul's nescience is destroyed and his propensity for serving Krishna is awakened. One may observe the appearance day of the Lord by fasting and holding a festival. Just as the appearance day of the Lord is pure, the appearance day of the Lord's devotees are also pure. One must certainly hold festivals on those days. Gaurachandra Avirbhava Shunaye Jane Kabuduke Nahitara Janma Va Marane. Whoever hears about the appearance of Lord Gaurachandra will never feel distress either during this life or at the time of death. Shunile Chaitanya Kata Bhakti Faladare Janma Janme Chaitanyara Sanghe Avatare. By hearing the topics of Sri Chaitanya, one attains the fruits of devotional service to the Supreme Lord and accompanies the Lord in his pastimes life after life. It is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, "My dear Uddhava, narrations of my pastimes and qualities are all auspicious and purify the entire universe. A faithful person who constantly hears, glorifies, and remembers such transcendental activities, who, through dramatic performances, relives my pastimes, beginning with my appearance, and who takes full shelter of me, dedicating his religious, sensual, and occupational activities for my satisfaction, certainly obtains unflinching devotional service to me, the eternal personality of Godhead." If a living entity hears the topics of Sri Chaitanya Dev, his service attitude is awakened and he can accompany Sri Chaitanya in each of his incarnations within this world. Adikanda Kata Bada Shunita Sundara Yanhi Avatirna Gura Chandra Maheshwara. The topics of Adikanda are most pleasing to hear, because they describe the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Gaurachandra. Esa Balilara Kabu Nahi Paricheda Avirbhava Tirobhava Matra Kahaveda Chaitanya Katara Adi Anta Nahi Deki Tanhana Kripaya Ye Bolana Tahiliki. Although the Vedas describe the Lord's appearance and disappearance, there is no actual those are in parentheses. So although the Vedas describe the Lord's appearance and disappearance, there is actually no end to his pastimes. I don't see any beginning or end of the topics of Sri Chaitanya. I simply write down whatever he mercifully induces me to speak. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is stated, the consecutive pastimes of Krishna are manifest in one of the innumerable universes moment after moment. There is no possibility of counting the universes, but in any case, some pastime of the Lord is being manifest at every moment in one universe or another. Thus the Lord's pastimes are like flowing Ganges water. In this way, all the pastimes are manifested by the son of Nanda Maharaj. Lord Krishna exhibits his pastimes of childhood, boyhood, and pre-youth. When he reaches pre-youth, he continues to exist eternally to perform his rasa dance and other pastimes. Descriptions of Krishna's eternal pastimes are in all revealed scriptures, but one cannot understand how they are continuing eternally. Let me give an example by which people may understand Lord Krishna's eternal pastimes. An example can be found in the zodiac. The sun moves across the zodiac day and night and crosses the oceans between the 7 islands, one after the other. According to Vedic astronomical calculations, the rotation of the sun consists of 60 dandas, and it is divided into 3,200 palas. The sun rises in steps consisting of 60 palas. 60 palas equal 1 danda, and 8 dandas comprise 1 prahara. Day and night are divided into 8 praharas, 4 belonging to the day and 4 belonging to the night. After 8 praharas, the sun rises again. Just like the sun, there is an orbit to Krishna's pastimes, which are manifest one after the other. During the lifetime of 14 manus, the orbit expands through all the universes, and gradually it returns. Thus Krishna moves with his pastimes through all the universes, one after another. The cycle of his pastimes turns like the wheel of fire. Thus Krishna exhibits his pastimes one after the other in every universe. Since all Krishna's pastimes are taking place continuously, at every moment, some pastime is existing in one universe or another. Consequently, these pastimes are called eternal by the Vedas and Puranas. In the Lagu Bhagavatamritam, it is stated, just as Krishna is the primeval Lord, or unborn, his pastimes of appearance and disappearance are beginningless. By his own supreme will, Lord Mukunda repeatedly manifests his pastimes of appearance and disappearance in this world. He is Aja, or unborn, yet he takes birth. One may ask how a person who is unborn can take birth. It appears completely contradictory. In order to reconcile this contradiction, one may reply that the Supreme Lord is inconceivable, full of opulences, and completely spiritual. Since there is no tinge of transformation in the Supreme Lord and his devotees, they are both unborn, and though their birth is not due to sexual intercourse, they appear in a pure heart as the sun appears in the east, and are therefore also born. As the fire present in the form of heat within jewels. Leila, why did you cut out a cup of water? Thank you. As the fire present in the form of heat within jewels and wood manifests due to a particular cause, Lord Krishna manifests his wonderful pastimes of appearance and disappearance at a particular time due to a particular cause. The principal cause of his manifesting pastimes of appearance and disappearance is his desire to bless his devotees and spread the glories of his famous pastimes. Another principal cause for his appearance. Thank you so much. Another principal cause for his appearance is to exhibit mercy on his dear devotees like Vasudeva, who are constantly being tortured by formidable demons. Brahma and other demigods' prayers to the Lord for diminishing the burden of the earth, even today, are secondary causes for the Lord's appearance. If his dear devotees are eager to see him, then Lord Krishna, who is an ocean of mercy, immediately exhibits his pastimes to them. Even today, some most fortunate devotees who are overwhelmed with love and devotion happily see the sporting pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. Therefore, the fully independent Supreme Lord manifests before one's eyes by his own sweet will, but since he is not the form of material vision, he is not seen by material eyes. Elsewhere in Lagu Bhagavatamritam, it is clearly stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam and other Puranas that the pastimes of Krishna are eternal. In his commentary on the above quoted verse from Lagu Bhagavatamritam, Sri Baladev Vijayabhushan has stated, "Since the pastimes of the Lord are activities, there must be a beginning and an end, otherwise the pastimes cannot be complete. But if the pastimes have a beginning and an end, how can they be considered eternal?" In answer to this, it is replied in the Gopala Tapani, Eko Pisan Bahuda Yo Vabhati. Although Lord Vishnu is one, he manifests in many forms. And in the Vishnu Purana, Ekaneka Svarupai, Lord Vishnu is one as well as many. These two statements prove the unlimitedness of the Supreme Lord. The Chandogya Upanishad describes the devotees of the Lord as follows. Sa ekanda bhavati trita. He is one kind and three kinds. From this statement of the Chandogya Upanishad, it is understood that each of Lord Vishnu's associates are also unlimited. Also, in the Rig Veda, it is said, Paramam Param Avabhati Bhuri. The supreme abode of Krishna is unlimitedly manifested. From this statement of the Rig Veda, the unlimitedness of the pastimes, pastime places of the Supreme Lord is also confirmed. From these statements that establish the unlimitedness of the Supreme Lord, his devotees, and his abode, it is understood that the pastimes of the Supreme Lord are not temporary. Despite the beginning and end of the various pastimes of the Lord's various incarnations, all such pastimes are factually eternally enacted. They simply appear to begin in one place while ending in another. In this way, because there is no gap in the pastimes, they are called eternal. If one accepts that the pastimes of the Lord are eternal, the doubt may still arise that since his pastimes have a beginning, they must certainly end. In reply, it is understood that although the pastimes of a particular form of the Lord take place at a particular time, they are nevertheless eternal. So these commentaries, just a reminder, are commentaries. It says this is with English translation of the Gaudiya Bhashya introduction and commentary, live sketch of author, and chapter summaries of His Divine Grace Om Vishnupad, Paramahamsa Parvrjakacharya, Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. So, as far as I understand, these commentaries are by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Okay, so if the pastimes have an end, how can they be eternal? In reply, it is understood that although the pastime of a particular form of the Lord takes place at a particular time, they are nevertheless eternal. Shankaracharya has stated in his commentary on the Brahma Sutras, if someone says he has cooked, he has cooked. I'll read that again. If someone says he has cooked, he has cooked. That does not mean he has cooked twice. In the Govinda Bhasya on the Brahma Sutras, it is stated, if someone utters cow, cow, that does not mean two cows. Therefore, even though the Supreme Lord has multiple forms, they are all one. There is no doubt about it. In the Vedas, it is stated, Eko Deva Nitya Lila Nurakto Bhakta Vyapi Bhakta Frijantaratma. The one Supreme Lord Vishnu is eternally engaged in diverse pastimes and situated in the hearts of his devotees as the Super Soul. One may consult the Srimad Bhagavatam as well as the Brihad Vaishnava Toshani, where it is stated, Nitya Vataro Bhagavan Nitya Murtir Jagapati Nitya Rupo Nitya Gandho Nitaishvara Shukanu Buha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead constantly appears as an avatar. The Lord of the universe has an eternal form, eternal fragrance, eternal opulences, and is full of eternal bliss. The Padma Purana gives the following evidence. Pasya tvam darshanishami swarupam vedagopitam. I will show you my personal form, which is unknown to the Vedas. Idam eva vadanchete veda karanakaranam satcham vyapi paranandam chidganam sashvatam shivam. The Vedas confirm that this form of mine is the cause of all causes, the all-pervasive, supremely blissful, full of knowledge, eternal, all-auspicious, absolute truth. Anama Rupa Evayam Bhagavan Hari Ishvara Akartiti Cha Yo Vedai Shmitibis Cha Vidit Jate. It is the personality of Godhead, Lord Hari, whom the Vedas and Smritis describe as having no name or form and having nothing to do. Satchidanandarupatvat Shat Krishno Doksajo Pyasho Nija Shakte Prabhavena Swam Bhaktan Darshayat Prabhu. Adhoksaja is called Krishna because he has an eternal form full of knowledge and bliss. He shows himself to his devotees by the influence of his own energy. In the Mahabharata, it is stated, do not consider that I am visible because I have a material form. If I wish, I can disappear within a second. I am the controller and spiritual master of the universe. O Narada, the form of mind that you are now seeing is the creator of the illusory energy. Therefore, you should know that I am completely unaffected by the three modes of material nature. The Vasudeva Upanishad states, Sadrupam Advayam Brahma Majjajanta Vivarjitam Swaprabham Satchidanandam Bhakja Janati Chavyayam. The Lord's transcendental form is the absolute truth, devoid of duality or of beginning, middle, or end. It is self-effulgent, eternal, and full of knowledge and bliss. Only through devotional service can one understand that form to be infallible. It is further stated in the Vasudeva Jatma. Because his qualities are generally unknown, he is said to have no name. Excuse me. Because his form is not material, he is said to be formless. And because Lord Hari does nothing in relationship with the material nature, he is said to be inactive. In the Narayana Dhyatma, it is also stated, Nitya Vyakcho Pibhagavan Ikshate Nija Shaktita Tamrite Paramatmanam Ka Pashyatamitam Prabhum. The Lord, though he is eternally unmanifested, is visible by his own energy. Without the assistance of his energy, who can see the immeasurable Lord, the Supersoul? The Lord, though he is eternally unmanifested, is visible by his own energy. Without the assistance of his energy, who can see the immeasurable Lord, the Supersoul? Regarding the appearance and disappearance of the Lord, the Brahmanda Purana says, Anandayam aheyam cha rupam bhagavato hari avirbhava tiro bhavav ashokte grahamochane. The form of Lord Hari is neither abominable nor meant for rejection. His manifestation in this world is called appearance, and the ending of his manifest pastimes is called disappearance. In his commentary on the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Madhvacharya writes as follows: Avirbhava tiro bhavo jnanasya jnanino pitu apeksha shnastata jnanam utpanam iti chochate. The Lord appears and disappears for the sake of the wise, but he also appears to enlighten the ignorant. The pastimes of the Supreme Lord are uninterrupted, just like a wheel of fire. They are not products of fruitive workers' temporary imagination that fade away in due course of time. By stating that the eternal absolute truth appears in and then disappears from this world in his complete spiritual form, the Vedic literatures confirm that the eternal pastimes of the Lord are displayed in this temporary material world. Sri Chaitanya Deva is unlimited and complete. Since the topics related with Sri Chaitanya Deva are non-different from him, such topics are also without beginning or end. He is fully independent and the controller of the living entities. Therefore, following the process of disciplic succession, I write whatever he inspires me. Bhakta Sanghe Gaurachandra Pare Namaskar Iti Aparada Kichu Nahuka Amar. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Gaurachandra along with his devotees, so that I may not commit any offense at their feet. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Chanda Jana Vrindavana Dasa Tacha Pada Yuga Gana. Accepting Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their lotus feet. Thus ends the English translation of the Gaudiya Bhashya of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata, Chapter 3, entitled Calculation of the Lord's Horoscope. So I'm a bit confused if the commentaries are by Vrindavan Das Thakur himself. They must be by Bhakti Siddhanta. Okay, I don't think Haridev is available right now, so Haridev, are you available? No? Okay, so I'm going to stop at this chapter 4, which is, I'll stop at the end of chapter 3. Now we're going to begin tomorrow, chapter 4, which is the name-giving ceremony, childhood pastimes, and thieves kidnap the Lord. So, do you want me to read from Divine Guidance now, or do you want me to read something else?
Yeah, Divine Guidance. Well, what would you wish to read?
Okay. Well, we will continue where Haridev Prabhu left off yesterday in Divine Guidance, in the section called Hand-Carved Gems. Jai Srila Gurudev. So it looks like he's discussing some of the history of the Sri Gaudiya Math, and some of that history of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Guru Maharaj, and all the different Srila Swami Maharaj. Okay. So I'll just jump in. I don't know. It's kind of in the middle of it, but Srila Swami Maharaj was a very respectable, intimate godbrother of Srila Guru Maharaj, and I consider he has the right to say as he did, but we will see it as only his expression of clarification for his disciples in order to make his mission perfect. So there's some description of the history of the management of Sri Gaudiya Math and some discussion. So if someone wants to read from the beginning, this is in Divine Guidance, which is there's a PDF on SCSMod.com. This is in the section towards the back called Hand-Carved Gems, which are excerpts from letters by His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Maharaj. I have no doubt that Srila Swami Maharaj wanted to give the position of acharyaship to Srila Guru Maharaj, and when Srila Guru Maharaj came out from the Gaudiya mission, he received his first preaching invitation from Srila Swami Maharaj in Calcutta as a measure of Srila Swami Maharaj's respect and friendship. Srila Swami Maharaj wanted to start another mission headed by Srila Guru Maharaj. Many times we have seen it. We can mention that his last proposal was that he wanted to take Srila Sridhar Maharaj as the president of the League of Devotees in Gyansi. Actually, neither of them were very much eager to take missionary acharyaship, but it later automatically came to them and they served that chair wholeheartedly, and they endeavored to give full protection to that chair for the future preceptorial line. I know that his letter was not criticism of Srila Guru Maharaj, but Srila Swami Maharaj expressed in that letter, in the name of Srila Guru Maharaj, for only cautioning the devotees. we can consider this as a past picture of the Gaudiya mission, and Srila Swami Maharaj did not want a repetition of that picture. My commentary is not as a disciple of them, it is simply impartial history. Actually, we have no right to involve in that historical matter. What you say in your letter is 100% true. Quote, we cannot fully know the arrangement of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, but we do see practically that insincerity will be rewarded with fall down. But it is not the fault of the Gurudev, but rather the insincerity of the disciples that may lead to such discrepancies and problems. Unquote. In the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it was his desire that everyone will chant a minimum of 1,100,000 Harinam. Some devotees chanted in that way, but mostly they could not do so. Srila Saraswati Thakur also instructed that to chant 1 lakh Harinam every day is very good, but that a minimum of 16 rounds must be chanted. But when the Gaudiya mission expanded all over India and disciples also came from all parts of the country, it was his consideration that an absolute minimum of 4 rounds must be daily chanted by everybody. Srila Swami Maharaj realized everything about the Western world, and scrutinizingly seeing their nature of devotion, he gave the direction, everybody must chant 16 rounds every day. However, everybody cannot follow that, therefore they are breaking their promise to Gurudev. Srila Guru Maharaj duly considered, and he expressed, we must chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra with full concentration for a minimum of 4 rounds, if it is not possible to chant 16 rounds or more. Following his Gurudev's minimum guideline, and he gave much more importance to Seva. That means serving the Lord through the satisfaction of Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas. Nama Sankirtan is direct service to Harinam, if it is perfectly done without offense. You know the shloka. Ata Shri Krishna Namadi Nabhavet Gramyam Indriyai Sevan Mukhe Hiji Vadao Swayam Eva Spurachada. Sri Harinam will reveal himself through service to the Vaishnavas, and Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur gave more importance to such service to Guru Vaishnava. By his instruction to chant a minimum of 4 rounds, it is indicated that as much as possible by the servitors they are to chant unlimitedly, and everywhere Srila Guru Maharaj said, we need quality, not quantity. Also in Srila Saraswati Thakur's Patravali, letters of Srila Saraswati Thakur, we can see in his letter to Srila Guru Maharaj that he gave more importance to the service of Sri Guru Vaishnava, and that through such service they achieve the qualification of quality in their chanting. So that's important. So in his letters, Srila Saraswati wrote a letter to Guru Maharaj, and we can see in his letter to Srila Guru Maharaj that he gave more importance to the service of Sri Guru Vaishnava, and that through such service they achieve the qualification of quality in their chanting. But if anyone can increase the quantity while keeping the quality, that is very, very good. We can also see from another angle. When Gurudev gives Harinam initiation, at that time the disciple promises, yes, I shall chant such a specific number of rounds, whether 4, 16, 64, etc. But to fail to keep their vow will go in the category of offense against Guru. In that way, it is some relief to the devotees to have a minimum of just 4 rounds daily. On the whole, all their divine graces have the right to adjust their instruction according to the environment, the situation, and the capacity of the devotees. Anyhow, the vital point is that we are to chant Hare Krishna as much as possible without offense, with sincerity and with love, and to serve Guru Vaishnava and the Mahaprasadam and their Mahaprasadam wholeheartedly. About the 4 directives, we are always mentioning them here in India, but on my recent world tour I sometimes did not mention them. I am thinking that everyone in the West is conscious about the 4 directives. Also, those who are coming to me, they are not coming to me directly, but they are coming through some Vaishnavas. Those Vaishnavas are recommending them. That is, I do not know anything about them, but I am giving my service initiation to the recommended sincere seekers. Actually, the directives are not 4, but 5, and those 4 directives are living automatically within the 5th. However, for the innocent newcomers, we must advise that they follow the 4 directives, no doubt. But there is also some vital point that we must not forget, even though it may not be for public mass distribution. That is, that the position of the real and exclusive devotee of Krishna is above the rules, and such devotees can come from anywhere and everywhere. And from another angle, we can say that the mercy of the great Vaishnavas can make anyone immediately into a good devotee. In this connection, we can discuss the shlokas of Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Jatta Shradho Mat Katashu and Apichet Suduracharo, Therefore, we must try to consider everything in a harmonizing way, otherwise we may be offenders. Yasmin Shastre Purane Vahari Bhaktirna Drishyate Shotavyam Naivatat Shastram Yadi Brahma Svayam Vadet. Do not hear any scripture which does not glorify. Do not hear any scripture that does not glorify Krishna Bhakti and Krishna's Bhaktas. Even if Lord Brahma will sit in front of you and recite any other type of scripture, don't listen. It was for this purpose that Srila Swami Maharaj formed ISKCON. He wanted ISKCON to be a pure place of devotional association, especially we are to avoid Vaishnava Aparad. Always there may be some imperfection in this world, but if ISKCON remains at least 60% pure, then carefully the devotees can serve there. Carefully means that devotees will be careful to keep good association and to avoid those who have any tendency to be offensive or disrespectful to the Vaishnavas and Krishna Bhakti. About myself, I can say clearly that I have made a promise to my Srila Guru Maharaj, and at least I can say I am trying 100% to practice and preach according to his wish. When traveling to our destination, if we come across someone who is sick or injured and they beg assistance, naturally we will also try to give some assistance by way of relief work. When an ISKCON Acharya does some activities that even the material people will not do, then how can we agree? And in which way can the sincere seeker be faithful to that Acharya? Such seekers want no mundane things from ISKCON. They need the seeds of Krishna consciousness and the association of good Vaishnavas. They need to have the seeds planted happily in the heart and to get more and more inspiration to practice Krishna consciousness. And they can inspire others also by their example as good ISKCON devotees. But we cannot ignore the fact that inside ISKCON many of the leaders have proceeded in a very mechanical and mundane way. You are putting a very hard question for me to answer about the ISKCON mission. So it looks like the question is like a 5-part question in the beginning. So that's what these are all answers to that question that we didn't read today. So, okay. You're putting a very hard question for me to answer about the ISKCON mission. In those early days when Srila Swami Maharaj established the now exalted International Society for Krishna Consciousness, his mission was always receiving proper nourishment through his divine association. Perhaps everything was not going fully perfectly, but on the whole we can say that his mission was the only hope for the Western world to happily practice Krishna consciousness. It is true that after his disappearance some disturbance came in his beloved ISKCON mission, and it is a very usual thing. In every mission everywhere it must be expected that when the exalted sun is going to set, some illusory environment will try to influence over all that mission. I cannot say that in Srila Swami Maharaj's time there was no influence of illusion, but by his divine power, everything was immediately harmonized. Everybody will try to make his mission perfect. And I think all the auspicious and great acharyas in this world tried to make their missions perfect and spent their whole energy for that. And I have no doubt they were all the well-wishers of all jiva souls. I think the ISKCON mission is completely different from other missions. We can consider it as a God-gifted organization for the super benefit of the conditioned souls through His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. Srila Guru Maharaj said, Srila Swami Maharaj is a Shaktivesh avatar. Otherwise, no man can make such a mission all over the world within 5 years. In a very short time, he widely gave the chance to receive the supreme goal of life, unalloyed devotion to Krishna in the line of Sriman Mahaprabhu. In the time of Srila Swami Maharaj, whenever news would come from any corner of the world of the many persons chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and practicing pure devotional life, at that time I saw the face of Srila Guru Maharaj to to be greatly exalted, and he openly praised Srila Swami Maharaj's divine activities and glories in front of everybody. I also saw his similar divine expression whenever Srila Swami Maharaj would come and report his missionary news to Srila Guru Maharaj. They were both very great, and their basic discussion was very high and harmonious about spreading real Krishna consciousness. So this whole... Okay, I'll just read a little bit more. Srila Swami Maharaj himself selected a few leaders for maintaining and spreading Krishna consciousness all over the world for his mission. That was called the GBC, and he was proud of them. At that time, my own feelings were non-different from ISKCON, and I was very happy to see the mood of the devotees. I did not get the chance to mix with everybody. It was also not possible, but I was surprised to see the depth of knowledge of Krishna consciousness in those I saw. Actually, I received much nice impression and enthusiasm from them, including Sripad Bhavananda Maharaj, Sripad Tamal Krishna Maharaj, Sripad Achyutananda Prabhu, etc. I still have many friends in the ISKCON society, and they have a very good mood. They are living within the preaching and practicing life, and I highly respect them. But you know that after the disappearance of Srila Swami Maharaj, many things have happened in that society. Not only that, but many of the great devotee personalities showed their very unfortunate form, and that was painful for their followers, and many of the followers of Srila Swami Maharaj, and it was very painful for myself also. Those confused persons eagerly sought secure shelter for their spiritual life, but they could no longer fully trust others in that society. At the same time, they did not want to leave Krishna consciousness because living in their hearts was the seed of Krishna consciousness planted by Srila Swami Maharaj. Srila Swami Maharaj often said, "I am ISKCON." That means that all the property of Krishna consciousness, the society he formed, was living with him, and he could not tolerate that any disturbance will come to his preaching life, and he would try to remove such disturbances by any means. But after His Divine Grace's disappearance, some wave of an illusion in the form of ego immediately tried to spread bad influence. You know that many have been affected by that influence. By those infected persons' power, many good souls were ousted, and Srila Guru Maharaj tried to give them some hope and shelter in the form of relief work. At present, I am trying to serve His divine chair to the best of my limited capacity. Actually, Srila Swami Maharaj organized the ISKCON society so that there can be practicing of Krishna consciousness under proper guardianship, and that is the only goal of life for all conditioned souls. This is not only the preaching of His Divine Grace, but it is also the preaching of Sriman Mahaprabhu, his associates, and the preceptorial line after him. No doubt it has manifest in the world at large, especially in the West, through Srila Swami Maharaj. But the many disciples of Srila Saraswati Thakur and our Srila Guru Maharaj continued, according to their own capacity, to preach and practice Krishna consciousness. We see everywhere that each do not have the identical preaching method and mood of Sriman Mahaprabhu, Trinadapi Sunichena Toror Api Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena, and they were not all free from Vaishnava Parat. Therefore, many difficulties arise in every society, and even our society is not fully free from that. We need to do good for ourselves and for others. We want to leave the ideal of mundanity, and we must try to achieve the super beneficial transcendental service plane, which is really our life's goal, through chanting the Maha Mantra without offense in the association of devotees and preaching. So that's a long sentence, but that's a couple sentences, but it's very important. I'm going to read that again. We need to do good for ourselves and for others. We want to leave the ideal of mundanity, and we must try to achieve the super beneficial transcendental service plane, which is really our life's goal, through chanting the Maha Mantra without offense in the association of devotees and preaching. The chanting without offense is so very essential, and if that feeling does not come to us, we will not get the proper beneficial results. I feel that this is very important for us now. I heard a phrase in English from Srila Guru Maharaj, the rank is but the guinea stamp. Man is the gold for that. Actually, an institution or sampradaya is like the guinea stamp, but the real value is to be found in the quality of the gold, wherever it is to be found. Otherwise, only in its own particular country will the value certified by the guinea stamp be given. In another way, we can say, Swadeshe punjate raja bidvan sarvatra pujate. Qualified persons have value everywhere, but if a king is not qualified, he will only receive honor in his own kingdom. We can also see many nicely designed uniforms displayed in shop windows, but we need to proceed to our destination, and if we can understand wholeheartedly this importance, we cannot sit back and wait for that. If we can have both the man and the design uniform, that will be very good for us. I am always trying to harmonize with all environments, and I never advise anyone to make any disturbance or offense to others. I want to try to make everyone my friend, and I want blessings from all our sister concerns. And if unknowingly I may make any offense to them, I am always praying for their forgiveness. If I can proceed with this mood, I must remain free from Vaishnava aparat. So this chapter continues. We can continue tomorrow, but some very important hand-carved gems of Srila Gurudev. Some of the things that we hear a lot from him when he's speaking about how to act and how to harmonize and how to avoid Vaishnava aparat, how to avoid Nam aparat, to chant without offense. So many things we're hearing him say many, many, many times over and over. So because of that, we have to conclude that those things are very important for us in our practicing spiritual life. There may be so much knowledge and so much, so much to know or understand, but definitely these certain practicing tips are going to be very, very helpful for us in our continuation of our attempt at practicing Krishna consciousness and Bhakti Yoga. So thank you. Thank you, Haridev. So again, this was Divine Guidance by His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Maharaj. If you like to read, if you don't have this, you can look SCSMot.com under books. There's PDF versions. There's probably also audio versions that you can listen to. And we will chant Hari Haraya and see you tomorrow.
Raja Mohini Didi ki jai.
Gurudev ki jai. All the Vaishnavas ki jai.
Jai.
Okay.
Today it's Megan McCullough. She says Dandavat. Vima Krishna Prabhu and also Dayal Govinda Prabhu.
Jai. Dandavat. Dandavat. And today is the beginning of 21 days Chandan Yatra of Sri Jagannath Dev. And it's Akshaya Tritiya, which is also a very auspicious and good day to start something, some good works. To start some work, so it's a good day to start something. Beginning of 21 days, Chandan Yatra of Sri Jagannath Dev.
Let's go.
And a good day to start some works. So we were planning to go to the university today, but it's raining, and also I did hear that it is finals week, so the combination of that might be
Mercy.
some kind of mercy. Okay,
Right.
Prabhu, will you chant?
Yes.
And you can hand me the card.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Hari Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopal Govinda Ram Srimad Sundar.
Govindaram Śravaṇa Seva.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Radha Chandra. Radha
Jai Shaparikara Shishi Guru Gaurachandra Giriraj Ju Ki Jai. Jai Shaparikara Shishi Guru Garanga Gandharva Govinda Sundar Ju Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Ma Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramamsa Puravarjakacharya Vari Asara Sata Sri Srimad Bhakti Sundar Govinda De Goswami Maharaja Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramamsa Puravarjakacharya Vari Asara Sata Sri Srimad Bhakti Rakab Shri Dev Goswami Maharaja Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramamsa Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Rupanu Varga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Jai Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata Ki Jai. Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Divine Guidence Ki Jai. Jai 21 days of Sri Jagannath Dev Chandan Yatra Ki Jai. Auspicious day to start new works Ki Jai. Samveda Vaishnava Mandala Ki Jai. Samveda Bhakti Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Jai Gaur Premanande.
Haribo.
Panchakalpatrubhascha Kripa Sindhudevacha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha. Jai to all the devotees that are giving us your association. We wish we could see you. Dandavat.
Jai, dear devotees, have a glorious day.